Alright guys, there it finally is. It's a freaking big package. Let's get it open. Oh yeah, power color. That's great. Look at these two guys. And look how thick they are. These are Power Color Radeon RX Vega 64 liquid editions. Look at that. Package is a little scratched. It looks like. Come on. There we go. HBM2 liquid. And the rest is empty or advertisements. Alright, now let's look whether we can open these, okay? So there the seal is closed. That seal as well. Seal closed. Seal closed. Great. Now let's check the back. Yeah, these are the usual Vega features. Let's check this. Usual minimum 1000 watt or greater power supply. I don't think that's necessary. Alright, nothing special there. What's this? Some sticker from Power Color. Okay. Now let's get this baby open. There we go. Let's enable the flashlight here. It's pretty dark and rainy today, so that's why the light is a bit bad. Okay. Wow, this is heavy. Okay. Look at this. Okay. So this is the gray package that is inside. And there we go. Okay, so this should be closed, opened up along with the hood. Okay, so what do we have? We got some paper from Power Color, since this is the Power Color one. Originally I wanted the sapphire ones, but they were sold out, so I had to pick this one. And there we have the Vega graphics card. So this is aluminium. It's cold to the touch. And what's this? Aha, these are the screws. So you can mount the radiator to your case. I'll be using the Fractal Design Define S. Look here, these are the tubes for the water. This is the cable for the fan, I suppose. So that's a bit cheap. I mean, come on, zip tied together. Anyways, The tubing seems pretty long. It's from going out there, going around here, into the radiator. Alright, let's get this baby out. Okay. Let's not twist the tubes as good as we can from the get-go. Okay. And I think, besides this, there's nothing else in there, which is quite sad. No goodies, no nothing, no adapter cables. Alright, now let's check it. So what I already don't like is that these are short screws, so I won't be able to put this into a push-pull configuration with the screws you get with a graphics card. A little bit sad, but I can get around that. Okay, let's do this one. So this is just your usual attention plastic bag. Ooh, look at that! We got some additional plastic tapes. Remove before use. Yes, I'll do that. Okay, so that's great. We actually get a Radeon branded fan and not a Power Color branded one. What does this tell us? Well, besides the fact that it says Power Color on the box, this is probably the very same that you get from any other brand. Okay, so let's get this one. There we are. Now, this card is actually pretty long. Pretty long. Good. It has a nice backplate, which is also brushed aluminum, cool to the touch. We've got the R. We've got the Radeon. Okay, yeah, these are the three cables. These two can be separated. They're pretty flimsy if you ask me. Look at that. Okay. The fan is actually looking similar, I don't know, to the... Yeah, it's actually looking pretty... As you can see, there is this extra line of plastic, the shroud there. Pretty unusual. I don't own a fan yet that has this. Probably some airflow optimization. And yeah, it's the AMD reference PCB, as you can tell. Some stickers on the bottom that you won't see because that's facing towards the motherboard. Some stuff there. There we have our LED indicator, as well as our GPU tag, and our two 8-pin connectors. Oh look, you can look inside of there. Look at that. Okay, so there's another sticker. I don't know what that means. There's some screw holes that are unused. Don't know what that means. Probably just some industrial look. And here we have 3 display ports as well as an HDMI port and this cool shroud. Really cool shroud design. And as soon as we try to look in there, we see some big copper block as well as the pump and tubing that goes into the block. And yeah, I can't identify the rest of it, but it seems like that you can get in there pretty easy. Like remove these 2 screws from the shroud, remove these screws at the back plate. Oh, and there we have a seal. Warranty removed. AMD, yeah. Sorry for that. I'm recording this on my phone. Yeah. And look at all these capacitors. Great. So, I'd say let's plug it into my computer. And I'll update you guys with more videos to come. As soon as oh look, it's so cold. The water from my hands condensates on that card. So this is actually not lit up, it's just a sticker placed onto the aluminium. On the blower fan type, this is lit up. So I'm wondering how it will look inside. Okay, so this is my case, the Fractal Design Define S, and this was the slot where my RX 480 Radeon was in. So I'll put it in here, and I'll mount the radiator right here, so it's above the pump of the GPU. That means that there will be no air in the pump, and thus make it last longer. Similar to what I've did with my Arctic liquid freezer. As you can see, it should be in water always because it's not the highest point. So I also could mount it down here. Sorry for the cable clutter. Yeah, I could also mount it down here, but that would mean that the pump would be the highest point in the loop, and you never want it to be that. So, sadly, luckily, I can mount 120 and 140 fans here. Sorry for the dust. I think I didn't unplug that fan for like 1 year or 2. Anyways, the problem is that I had a 140 fan in here, and now the radiator is 120. I think I'll just have to put out the 140 totally until I find a way to use them both. So, because I'd like to use them both. So now here you've got that. So all there is, I put some grill on there, so because I often work in the case, so it doesn't get damaged. But as you can see, these two don't match up. The right one is the 120, and the left one is the 140. And yeah, let's check how I can mount it with these screws. Also it's time to detach the protective plastic stuff that's on it. And last but not least, this big thing here. Oh, there's another one. And now this. It pops right off. And that reveals the radiator, which is aluminium, it seems. Yeah, isn't coppery red, so I think this is aluminium, unlike the block as we saw before, which is copper. So a bit of a mismatch, I suppose. But yeah, let's get on. Alright, so now it's in there, and as you can see, I've got plenty of space in this case. Now it's time for the radiator to be mounted there. I could also mount it on the top here, but I'm planning to just shut these panels again and disable all of these 3 fans. So I've got a more silent computer again. Let's see how it goes. Right, so now I've got it installed. I kept the stock binding on the tubes, so this is the position they want to be in. And oh, sorry for the focus. There we go. And I screwed in the radiator to the place where I wanted it to. So now it's a direct exhaust out of the back. And yeah, it's a bit tight with the door. You can imagine. Look at that. It's really as close as it looks. So right now, this would hang out of the case. Look at that. Yeah. Anyways, let's plug in the power. This looks so similar to the fuel reactor I once had. And let's get this baby running. Okay, that's snapped right into the place where it belonged. Oh god, I hate these 2 pins. They always get loose when you want to plug that thing in one-handed. Get the tubes out of the way, and there we go. So I'm using the Masterboard 500 Lite, 80 plus, certified from Cooler Master. Should be sufficient, together with my Asus Crosshair 60 with on 1700X, obviously on water, push-pull combination, and yeah, let's try the first boot. After, of course, plugging in the display port at the back. Let's choose this one. Let's put the power supply back on. And no smoke so far, so that's good. Joke aside. And let's put it on. Okay. So, oh, it turned off again. But I think that's the motherboard. It does that often after it was AC power off. So yeah, the Radeon logo is red. Let's put up the light. So the cube, the R cube is red. It just looks green right now, or yellowish. It's actually red, very red. Yeah, the Radeon logo is. And from the bottom there's nothing except light reflections. Whoa, that's cool. From my south bridge there are some light reflections on the polished aluminium. And we're booting already, so I think everything worked flawlessly. The GPU tag is also working. I'm not quite sure what this thing is and what it does. I will find that out later, I think. By the way, for those who are curious, I updated the Radeon Crimson to 17.8.2 before I switched the graphics card from the 480 to this one, because I heard there were some boot black screen problems, and yeah, as you can see, I've got none of those, except that the display driver seems to be installing itself right now. Thinking right now is whether I should be putting that thing like on the outside here. Would be quite awkward since the fan would be on the outside, but otherwise I could actually do some push-pull. I just would have to screw the 140 screws like here, where the screw holes are. Sorry for the weird camera angle, but I think that it would actually work. I just had to route the cable, the fan cable, back into the inside somehow, but then I have a 140, 120 push-pull radiator configuration effectively. Alright, there you have it. Oh, that blinking is the main board, by the way. It does that on hard drive interaction as it blinks here. Alright guys, I'm quite excited for this, so check out the results as soon as possible.
Okay, so I've done my first testing and I recognize that this 500 watt Cooler Master PSU is not enough for the liquid cooled Vega, even at stock, even at the power saving bias, and even at the power saving bias combined with the power saving Wattman profile. I believe this comes down to this specific PSU, because as you can see, I only got 456 watts on the 12 volts rail, and testing revealed that as close as you get to those 38 amps, the voltage, the 12 volts, actually drops to nearly 11, and that was what's causing the system instability that I got when gaming. This is actually a problem because I had to switch the power supplies. Now I've got a 600 watt gold Be Quiet one, and on stock with the normal bias it actually works. However, as soon as I pop the power target as far than 25%, or for example 30, the system still crashes. So if you get the liquid cooled Vega, get like a 700, 800 watt power supply. Otherwise you will not be able to use it to its full potential. And also you don't want to run your power supply at 100%. Yeah, that's just not the efficient optimum. Power supplies are most efficient at like 50 to 60%, depending on what power supply you get. But yeah, just wanted to give you the heads up. By the way, this 12 volt also includes the CPU. I've got the 1700X at 4 GHz. It was about 150 watts, assumingly. So yeah, it's also one of the reasons why this is not sufficient. So now you know. Alright guys, thanks for watching and see you next time.